Welcome to the world of flowers. I'm Jay Schwanke. I've spent my entire life surrounded by flowers. As a fourth-generation florist, flowers have been a part of my daily life for as long as I can remember. Now I'm on a mission to share my knowledge and love of flowers with everyone I meet. Growing, picking, arranging, designing, and sharing. It's all fascinating to me because I love flowers. Anything flowers and everything flowers. Welcome to Fun with Flowers and Jay. So I'm here with Dana Fries Hansen, the director of the Grand Rapids Art Museum. This is an amazing flower world project.
Well, we're so excited to be hosting it. It's been a couple of years, it's been gaining momentum. I'm new to this. I've only been here for 2 of them, but boy, I've just been walking around the exhibition space. It's so impressive. It's like people just don't get it until they see what flower artists are doing today.
What does it mean for the museum?
If you can see a familiar work with fresh eyes, that's a gift that many of these artists, the 19 flower artists that have made works here, are giving to our community. To see art that I'm very familiar with, that we've had hanging on our walls for sometimes 100 years, seen in a new way. It pushes the boundaries of what people think of flowers and also of art. And it brings the two together. And so there's a dialogue between the past and the present, between a painting and making sculpture out of living material. The essence, what I've been excited about is the sense of color, the sense of texture, the sense of intimacy, and then also explosion.
Here are 2 inspirational ladies who made Art in Bloom happen. So first off, Patty Betts, I want to come to you. We wouldn't be having this event if you weren't inspired somehow to help create Art in Bloom for Grand Rapids.
If I hadn't gone to San Francisco, where I went to the De Young Museum, I was looking at the books and saw a book that said Bouquets to Art. And I looked at it and I thought, this is just beautiful. There have been wonderful designers that have created these floral arrangements for the paintings in this museum. And how fabulous would that be if I brought it back to Grand Rapids and see what would happen here?
The event has to happen somehow. And the chairperson, Jane Milner, you and I have worked together.
Yes.
So what inspired you to get involved with Art in Bloom?
Well, the first year that they had the event was over Mother's Day.
Right.
And our daughter Catherine, she and I came to the event. It was fantastic, and I loved the event.
It's been an incredible event, and tonight the world-class art that we're seeing in a world-class art museum, it's just amazing. It's something that we can be so proud of. So thank you so much, ladies. We appreciate it. So I want to know, what did you think when you got assigned your piece? What was the first thing that came to your mind when you got your piece of art?
I actually was surprised because last year I had a piece that didn't have any color. And I thought, how can I bring color to this piece, you know?
Right.
2-dimension, black steel pieces. So, yeah, I think it was mostly the color and how to bring it alive, you know?
So what was the first flower or foliage that came to your mind when you saw it?
Definitely, I've been playing around lately with composite flowers. So composite flower was the first thing that came to mind, and then succulents were kind of like a secondary fill-in.
So hot right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely, very trendy.
What was your first reaction when they gave you this painting?
Relief.
Okay.
Last year's painting was very structural, very box-like, and it was
It's
a
like
nice
black and gray.
black and gray with one orange square.
Okay.
So this, I was like, oh wow,
Right.
There's a lot we can do here. So
What was the first flower or foliage that came to your mind when you saw it?
I thought about the Juliet garden rose.
Oh, right,
Because
right.
that picks up the peaches and stuff that's within the painting, and it opens up so beautifully, and it has such a nice fragrance. And I thought fragrance in the art museum, that would be a good deal.
Right. So, you are here at Art in Bloom in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes, again.
Yeah, so how many times have you done this?
They've had it 4 times, and I've been in it 4 times.
So, what was your reaction when you saw the painting for the first time?
Oh, I fell in love with it because I'm a nature boy, and this was right up my alley.
So, what was the first flower or foliage that you thought of?
Oh, moss. All the different varieties of moss.
Right.
So it's really marvelous. I mean, I could just picture myself walking through this painting and just feeling the mosses and looking at the rocks.
Now, I can imagine myself being this big and climbing through your. I got lost in it when I went up. I was like, oh, I could be this big and climb all over all that great stuff. It's wonderful. This is the cocktail party. This is pretty fun because the people get to come and talk to the artist, yourself, that created the interpretation. So, when you saw your painting for the first time, what'd you think?
First time I saw it, I thought, what am I going to do? Because everything was teal, and there's no real flowers in teal except your succulents. So I started concentrating on the rocks and the structure first, and then went to the flowers after that.
So rocks came to your mind first of all.
Well, from the painting.
From the painting.
Yes.
What flower or foliage did you think about next?
Succulents and anything that was in the teal blue greens. And so I was limited to my flower selection. That's why I went with the browns that would be more complementary to it.
Now, you worked with the curatory staff here to do change your lighting.
That was because of the color of it. Everything's at night, and so I used gels, 3 different color gels up there to make it look like the moonlight. And then I put LED lights in the water to make it sparkle.
We've met before. You've been on the show before.
Correct, yeah.
And Flowers at the White House, beautiful bird sculptures that were amazing. People saw you on HGTV. You were the featured designer at this event last year.
Correct, yeah.
How many times have you been involved with Art in Bloom?
This will be my 3rd time participating. Well, 2nd time participating with a piece. Last year I did a presentation.
Okay, so when you saw your painting for the first time, what was your reaction?
I was, hey, great. I mean, I know Rockwell Kent as well. He's an American landscape, quite well renowned, so I was very pleased with the piece. And the colors alone, I just thought was fantastic. It would be an easy piece. There were much harder pieces to interpret this time around.
So what flower came to mind first?
Well, I mean, if you kind of look at the landscape there, I mean, there's blues and purples. I immediately thought of delphinium and stock and layers to represent the hills, you know, and then I also saw, like, deep down in front, this heavy green. I saw the artichokes, and I thought of the carnations, and just layer.
The texture in
the
that.
texture,
That
yeah.
portion of it is amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the lily grass, just because you got to kick it out a little bit.
Exactly, just
Yeah.
dancing around the
exactly.
arrangement.
Use the whole space.